Sky World News with Hannah Tallett.
The top stories on World News. A white South Carolina police officer has been charged with murder over the shooting of an unarmed black man who appeared to be fleeing from him. As Saudi Arabian-led airstrikes continue against Houthi rebels in Yemen, the Red Cross is warning of a catastrophic humanitarian crisis in the southern city of Aden. And 6 men have appeared in court suspected of being among the alleged al-Shabaab operatives linked to last week's massacre at Kenya's Garissa University. The shooting in South Carolina was recorded by a member of the public on a mobile phone. The video showing Michael Slager opening fire on 50-year-old Walter Scott was seen by state investigators before Mr. Slager was charged. It all happened, the incident itself, on Saturday and was initially reported as a scuffle after a traffic infringement. Well, a man who was standing nearby captured the moment Mr. Scott turned and ran from the officer. Michael Slager apparently fired 8 shots at Walter Scott, who then collapsed just a few yards away. Well, joining me now from Charleston is Paul Gangarosa, the owner of the Lowcountry Herald in Charleston. Thank you very much for speaking to us on World News. Just tell us how this story first unfolded.
Well, yes, originally what we had heard was that there was an altercation and that the suspect had somehow taken the officer's taser, and then the officer had shot him. That was what we originally heard. And then it seems as if more news is coming in, and seeing the video that was taken by cell phone, it appears that that, of course, was not what actually unfolded.
Paul, from the outside looking in to the situation in America at the moment, we see more and more reports of these police shootings. Is there a history, has there been a recent history at least, of racial tensions between the public and police in Charleston?
No, not at all. Charleston is a wonderful place to live and a very accommodating place. There's been no history of that.
And so is it thought that this particular situation is a single incident, just one bad egg amongst the whole police force there, as the mayor was suggesting in the press conference a few hours ago? Or is this a sign, do you think, of a deeper problem in the local police force and indeed in US policing as a whole?
I wouldn't say that. I think this was an isolated incident. The City of Charleston Police and the City of North Charleston Police are both very, very fine departments. They're some of the best in the United States, and I really think this is just an isolated incident.
The family of Walter Scott saying a few hours ago that they had a huge amount of thanks and praise for the person who filmed the incident, the passerby video. Do we have any idea who he or she may have been, why they were there, why they were filming, and why there was this delay, even if it was just a couple of days, in handing over that film to police?
Well, to the last question, I don't know why there was the delay. Certainly, he was in the right place to get this information. It's fortunate that he was there. If not, this may never have unfolded the way it did. And certainly, our prayers and thoughts go out to the Scott family. This is just a horrific incident. I just can't imagine what they're going through.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Paul. Just after the incident in Missouri, in Ferguson, Missouri, when we saw the shooting happen there, there was much talk about police officers across the United States wearing cameras on their uniforms. Has that been talked about, discussed at all in Charleston?
It's been talked about in the state of South Carolina. It's something that would have to go through our legislature, and money would have to be allocated. So I don't know how quickly that's going to happen. This may very well speed that process along. I certainly would expect it to.
And do you think there's genuine concern now amongst the authorities there across South Carolina, across the state, that there could be similar scenes of violence, protests, rioting that we did see in Missouri?
Well, Charleston is like I say, we just don't have the history of that kind of tension. I certainly hope so. I don't obviously pretend to be able to read the future, but I am I'm guardedly optimistic that that won't happen here. Certainly the officer has been charged, as he should be. Bond has been denied. The case is moving forward. We have evidence that he has acted in a way that was inappropriate, and I think measures are going to be taken to see justice done.
Paul Gangarosa, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us on Sky World News.